Hello there. Today's story is very sad and pathetic. It is strange as well, to say the least. The gentleman you see over here is called Stanley. Stanley is happily married. He has 3 children and is gainfully employed. And let's call his friend Jojo. Jojo is also happily married. According to Stanley, whenever you close from work, or sometimes when you close from work, he doesn't go home straight. He checks in at this hotel to rest, relax, cool himself down, and if he has any office work to do, he will do it at the hotel. The reason being that sometimes when he gets to the house, the children will disturb him. So because he doesn't want the children to disturb him, he will go to the hotel and rest. After some time, then he goes home. So one day, he was at the hotel resting when the friend Jojo called to find out where he was. He told the friend that, well, he's at the hotel. And so Jojo said, yes, okay, there is this work that we have to do together. So let me meet you at the hotel so that we can work on it. He said, okay, come along. So he directed him to the hotel and they met. When they met, they took their laptops, they put their laptops and they were about to work. And then they realized that working on the laptop will not be so convenient, or it will not be so interesting. So they wanted to connect the laptop to the television in the room. But they tried putting on the television several times and the television wasn't coming on. So Stanley then, said that, well, he will go to the reception to tell the receptionist that this is the situation, they needed help with the television, and if she could come and help them with it. Just when Stanley said this and he was about to move, they heard a knock on the door. Who is knocking our door? So Stanley went to the door and opened it, and she saw this beautiful fair lady. According to Stanley, this lady was beautiful. The lady they saw was so beautiful, And the lady said, well, I hear you wanted someone to help you to put on the television. I'm here to do that. But Stanley was startled because he hasn't gone to the reception yet to, make a request. So how did the lady get to know that they want someone to help them put on the television and has come? But well, she's already here, so he allowed her in. And when the two of them saw her, they were like, wow, this lady is beautiful. They started, admiring and talking about her. So this lady went, we call it the mystery lady. She went to the television and started working or doing something to put it on. Whilst she was doing that, Stanley and the friend Jojo were at the back admiring the lady. And suddenly the lady turned and said that, I know what you are saying. They were like, what are we saying? Said, you are talking about me. And Stanley said, oh yes, we are admiring you. Then straight away, the strange lady, the mystery lady, asked them, which of you would like to marry me? And Stanley said, oh, I would like to marry you. The friend also said, oh, I would like to marry you. In fact, at this point, they forgot that they were already married. But it was all a sort of fun and joke. And then the lady asked again, I said, which of you would like to marry me? They all said, Stanley said, well, I rented the room, I booked for the room, so if anything, I should be the one to marry you first, or to marry you. But they jokingly said, who will marry you? Just by saying, I'll marry you, I'll marry you, I'll marry you, I'll marry you, before they realized they had requested for sexual favor from the lady, and the two of them ended up sleeping with her. The lady, the woman, they don't know from anywhere. The lady even invited her. They ended up sleeping with her. So when the act was over, the lady took her dress and went to the washroom to wash herself. So when the lady left, the two of them started thinking, what have we done right now? Somebody that we don't know, we just met her, and look at what has happened. Two of us have slept with her. So they heard the shower, the water from the shower falling in the bathroom. So they were there talking, and close to about 5, 10 to 15 minutes, the lady was not coming out. And so the friend was like, what is happening? Why the lady has kept too long? Let me go and check what is happening in the bathroom. When Jojo went and opened the bathroom, the water was falling from the shower, all right. But guess what? There was nobody in the room. There was nobody in the bathroom. He was shocked and surprised and rushed quickly to Stanley. Stanley, the woman is not in the room. They were like, what? How can it be? Because there was no way she could go out without them knowing. There was no way she could get out of the window. And there was no way she would get out without them knowing. And they all saw her entry into the bathroom. They quickly put everything, close the shower, dress up quickly, and rush down to the reception. But before they went to the reception, the lady had told them that they shouldn't tell anybody what has happened, because if they did, she will be sacked from the work. So they were also contemplating, but they need to find out who this mystery lady was, because she cannot just vanish after having an affair with them. She cannot just vanish like that. So they gathered courage, and then they went to the receptionist and asked the receptionist to tell them, the other lady who is also working around. Then the receptionist said that there is no other lady working that day except she and the manager. They are the only two people who are on duty for that day. They said, oh, come on. The lady just came into our room to help us with the television, and we can't find her. So, stop the joke and tell her. The lady said, no, there is nobody else here except myself and the manager. Just as they were talking, the manager came out and asked what was going on. And they repeated the same thing. The manager said, no, it is himself and the secretary. They are the only people who are on duty for the day. Then the manager called the two of them into the office and asked them again, what really happened? He said, well, we were struggling with, to put on the television, and this lady came in to help us. And so, but suddenly we cannot find him. Say, wow, how can we are the only two people on duty? How can it be that somebody came to help you and we don't know about? Then, okay, the manager said, fine, I have the CCTV footage on the, he has the television in his office, so that he sees everything that the CCTV captures. Let's look through and see if you will be able to identify or see which lady you are talking about. So they put on the television and they watched. And according to Stanley, he saw himself opening the door. But guess what? He didn't see any woman. He didn't see anybody. He saw himself opening the door, but there was nobody there. And suddenly, they all felt shocked, and fear started gripping them. What is happening? Have we seen a ghost? Have had an affair with a ghost? Then they said, no, I opened the door, just as you saw in the picture. Stanley said in the video, I opened the door, and it was because of her. I opened the door. She entered. They said, no, but when you look into the video, there was nobody there. So who was it? Then the general manager said, fine, let me bring you some of the pictures of our employees so that you look through and see if, in case you identify this mystery person that you are talking about. So he brought out the pictures and they started going through. They went through, and lo and behold, Stanley spotted the lady in one of the pictures. And when he spotted her, they had put a red mark on her. And Stanley said, this is the lady. This is the lady who came into our room. And the manager said that, yes, this lady used to work with us, but she passed on. She had an accident in the room that you are staying. In fact, she had an accident in the very washroom that she went into. And according to the manager, she was cleaning and she slipped and fell and died in that same room, and the particular washroom that she went into clean herself. Suddenly, Jojo urinated upon himself, and then the manager said, "Tell me the truth, what actually happened?" Then they directed everything to the manager that indeed they had an affair with the woman. But the woman vanished when she said she was going to clean herself in the washroom. And the manager said, "This woman is deceased. She used to be an employee here, but she's deceased." Then, out of frustration, because the whole thing was like a video to them. I mean, what is happening? Then they asked the manager, "Please, what can you do to help us? Is there any help we can do? Because we don't know what this mystery lady will do again." So this manager directed Jojo and the friend, Stanley and the friend, to this pastor who doubles as a spiritualist. So when they went and saw the pastor told them that they should buy certain things for him to do some rituals for them. So they bought the things, they gathered themselves, they bought the things and brought it to the pastor, and he did whatever he wanted to do. According to Stanley, that night that the rituals were performed, the mystery woman came to him in his dream, had an affair with him in the dream, and he didn't really tell him anything. He just came to have an affair with him and left. And when he woke up, Stanley woke up, that morning when he woke up to urinate, he started urinating blood. It wasn't him alone, but it was the same thing that was also happening to Jojo. Jojo too said that the woman came to his dream after the ritual, and he too, after that morning, he started urinating blood. It doesn't end there, it continued. Jojo and Stanley started growing lean because they were in serious trouble, And so they went back to the spiritualist again and told the spiritualist that, "Listen, this thing that you said we should do, we have done this and nothing is still happening. It's getting worse. Nothing has changed. It's getting worse." He told them they should bring some more money to do some more rituals. And he performed those rituals. In fact, this time round, they went to where the supposedly the lady has been buried, and they did the rituals, and it wasn't working. It was the same thing. The woman would come into their dreams and have an affair with them. So Jojo said, he told Stanley that as for him, he will not allow this thing to continue. He is traveling to Benin to go and look for medicine to stop this thing. Stanley said he can't go. So Jojo left. And when Jojo left, he left and came back. But when he came back, according to Jojo, he said the lady came into her dream again and told her that from today they should not have affair with anybody again except her alone. If they ever have an affair with anybody again, they would die. Jojo didn't want to believe that. Stanley too, that he was afraid. He doesn't know what to do. He couldn't tell the wife. Anytime the wife tries to come close to him, he will just push him away. So because Jojo, he had gone to Benin and come back, he thought he had gotten power, so he went ahead and had an affair with the wife. According to the wife, he was on top of him and he died. So Stanley just heard some few days after that, Jojo was dead. And so when he asked the wife said, "Well, he was on top of me and he died." And that was where the mystery lady came to Stanley again and told him that, "You see what I told you? If you ever allow any other woman to have an affair with you, you also die like Jojo." He thought he could just do this thing. And then Stanley said he asked the woman in the dream that, but I'm married, what can I do? And the woman said, that was why I asked you, which of you would like to marry me? Which of you would like to marry me? And you, two of you said you want to marry me. So now I have married you. So because I have married you, you cannot have an affair with anybody else, not even your wives. In fact, Jojo went back to the manager and told the manager that, look, things are getting worse. The pastor, whatever he asks us to do is not working. Is there any other way? Is there any other thing we can do? And so the manager took Stanley to the mystery lady's family. And when they got there, they narrated the issues. And yes, they brought the pictures of her funeral and everything, videos that shows that, she was buried and the rest. In fact, the family also did some rituals and the rest, But you know what happened? After the family did those rituals and everything, now Stanley said that he doesn't know what happened. But one day, he went to bed to lie down on his bed to sleep. And he woke up, guess where? At the cemetery, where by the woman's bed, burial place, she woke up at the cemetery. On 3 occasions, this thing happened. In fact, in the 3rd occasion, he himself drove to the place and left the car there. So for a long time, he was looking for the car. He couldn't get the car, and it was later on discovered that he has left the car at that place. In fact, he was going through hell, as he is going through hell, because he doesn't know what to do, and he keep on urinating blood. Jojo's story is so sad, but that is why there is a saying that all that glitters is not gold, and cheap things are expensive. If you think you know what Jojo should do, please leave it in the comment section below. Do like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Cheers. Bye bye.